Season tournament kicks off today for the Chicago Bulls as they face off against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, this is a team that has 8 players averaging in double figures. And so the Bulls are going to have to be on their P's and Q's defensively, especially in this game, if they want to be able to beat the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to talk about it all and more, but you know what we got to do first? We got to play that intro. If somebody who switched my folder, listen, I share this account with a lot of people. I'll be right back. Got to play the intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize. You guys already know what it is. It's game day. So that means we're here for the pregame show. We're going to break everything down, talk about the excitement, how prepared are the Bulls coming into this game? Are they going to be able to win? So let's see. This is a team that definitely it spreads the ball around. They have a lot of players that are scoring in double figures. They have 2 players in Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges that absolutely can go off at any point in time. So the Bulls need to be locked in. That's just is what it is. They have to be locked in this game defensively and play an efficient brand of offense. We know that they're capable of locking in defensively, right? We definitely know that they're capable of doing it when they need to do it. They can kick into that second gear. They need to do that consistently tonight, period. They have to be able to do that. And if they can, then we can have a successful night, right? But they gotta control the controllables. They've been getting a lot of offensive rebounds. They've been getting second chance points. They've been doing those things fairly consistently over this season, but they have to continue that and do it consistently over this game. Rebound as a team. Work through your offense, right? Move without the ball. Move the ball around. Ride the hot hand. That's more of a Billy Donovan thing. They have to be locked in if they want to be able to have success in this game. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. But they have the capability to do it. The biggest question is will they do it? Are they going to step up and do it consistently? That's what we need to see from this team. That is absolutely what we need to see. And we haven't really seen it at a high level thus yet. But we know that it's possible to a degree. So let's see if they're going to be able to do it. I, for one, hope that the team can. I look at this team and know that they have the ability to really be a decent defensive and offensive team. They have more than enough. It really just comes down to hitting your open shots, controlling your controllables, moving without the ball. Those type of things are going to be hugely important for a team, against a team like the Brooklyn Nets. Darren Link says, this is going to be lit. It's game day. See red. Let's go Bulls. You already know, brother. Shay's in the building says, what up, Haize? Am I the only one that finds this in-season tournament dumb as fuck? No, it's not dumb because it'd be different if it was added to the regular season. It's just the normal regular season games. You just have the in-season tournament banner on it, and if they play well in those in-season tournament games, you get an extra game. So I think right now they haven't made it like hugely incentivized, but I don't think it's dumb. No, I don't think it's dumb. Dumb would be like something if it's a complete waste of time, which it's not, right? Whoever's being guarded by Cam Johnson tonight should just go right at him. I agree, but listen, I tell you what, we played Cam Thomas like that last time, and he actually stepped up pretty well defensively. He's not a consistent defender, but Cam Thomas can step up a little bit defensively when needed. The Bulls need to play with a lot of heart and effort. If they do that, they could win tonight. Listen, the Bulls can win against any team. They don't execute night in and night out like they believe it, right? That's the thing that we need to see. Jay Allen says, ready to see how the Bulls respond to that mental breakdown last game in the fourth quarter. Go Bulls, see red, and we got mad love for you, Haize. I appreciate that, Tay Hollins. By the way, I need you guys. I know I've been asking you guys to subscribe. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, and even if you think you are, just go check the subscribe button. But more importantly than that, I don't care if nobody else subscribes tonight. I need everybody who has Apple Podcasts. If you have an Apple device, Apple Podcasts, come on there. Go to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review. We had a hater try to leave a bad review because I flamed him. So it is what it is. But I need you guys to go and turn out on that one. Go support if you have Apple Podcasts, and even if you have Spotify. If you don't listen to the podcast version, if you watch YouTube, you can still go and vote because it's the same content. Go pull up Apple Podcasts, type in Chicago Bulls Central. Go ahead and leave a 5-star review. And don't just leave a rating. Actually leave a review. It really does help more when you actually type in something, even if it's just keep up the great job, Haize. Do that for me. I love you guys. We have way too many supporters here. We only have I think it's 100 reviews on iTunes. We got 15,000 subscribers. Go ahead and go hit that review for me over at Apple Podcasts. I'd appreciate that wholeheartedly. Shay says, this is one of the games where we should look to blow this the team out. Well, no. Listen, the Bulls and the Nets, there's not that much separation between them. While you would like to think that the Bulls are a much better team than the Nets, it hasn't been proven yet on the court. So I don't forget a blowout. Let's play, let's compete, let's get this dub. That's what I want to see first. Shay also says, I find it very funny that everybody wants us to blow this team up, but nobody is saying the same thing about the Miami Heat, and they're doing worse than us. I said coming into the season, for the people who are like, oh, the Miami Heat are better than the Bulls, I was like, how? The Bulls actually added to the team that got better. Whether you agree with the pieces or not, they added to the team. The Miami Heat didn't do anything but lose pieces, basically. Key pieces to that rotation. They're 1-4 on the season, and it makes sense, right? Because they lost so much of what made that team go. And shout out to Tyler Hero, coming back, playing all 5 games so far, averaging 26 points per game. No problem with him there. Bam is even averaging 20 points per game. But that team lost so much that made that motor go. And you trust Heat culture. You trust Pat Riley to be able to replenish it at some point. But right now, that team's going to struggle this season. So there you go on that one. Blow up. Vooch needs to be scoring 18 points per game this year. Let's get him the ball, baby. Listen, we need to get Vooch the ball more for sure, right? And good things happen so far this season when we give Nikola Vucevic the ball. It just is what it is there. But he's averaging 16 points per game. Now, we know he started off the season slow. He can come around. We definitely need Nikola Vucevic is going to get his 18 and 11 this season. At the bare minimum, 17 and 11. He's going to get it this season. But the 18 and 11, I think, is coming. If Ben Simmons drops 20 on us, do we just call the season a wrap? No, not because of, no, we don't call it a wrap because of that. But let's see what else we got. We got Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls in the building, says, I just want us to play with pace and use the pick and roll with Vooch consistently. Hey, listen, a lot of people want to see that. But you know what? Who needs to want to see it more than anybody is head coach Billy Donovan. And until he wants to see that consistently, I don't know if we're going to see it consistently. That's just my opinion, but we'll see. Just got tickets. Let's go. Hopefully we will. Shout out to you, Windy City. Hopefully you enjoy the game. Let us know what you think about the court. Be back in the post-game show. Let us know about that. If the Nets beat us on our giant red court, I'm going to lose my shit. That's funny. And Mr. X even chips in and says, if we lose today, it's a wrap on his fandom. That's funny. Listen, I can't be a passive fan. Listen, I'm a diehard regardless. I like to see Billy start playing Phillips more because we're going to need him versus Wemby and other matchups. We're going to need length like Utah. More. He hasn't played him at all. But listen, Phillips ain't going to do nothing against women. You act like Julian Phillips got more length than, like, first of all, you need more than length to deal with to Wemby, first off, right? But I don't expect we're going to see very much of Phillips this season. Eads Instrument says, sup, Haize, what's going on, fam? Glad to have you in the building. Commander Central, first of all, don't be still in the Central. No, I'm just fucking with you. Thoughts on the Levines and Sixers rumor? It's just rumors. There's nothing to it. Bulls have already said and come out that they have no intent of trading Zach LaVine at all, and much less they don't like the Sixers asset. So that's not happening. Game night wings time. That's all day, every day, bro. You already know what it is. Stephen in the building says, Iowa's out. Does Ricky Phillips get some tick? That's actually, you know what? I would not be surprised if Julian Phillips gets some tick. I didn't know Io DeSumo was out in this game. I wonder what the hell happened to Io. That's unfortunate. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. We'll see. Hey, that red court is nice. I don't know why people don't like it. I love the court. I absolutely love the court. I have no problems with the court at all. Sounded like a young R. Kelly. That is, I don't know if that's a good thing, TBO, but I appreciate you, bro. He said, hey, man, your Twitch feed is jacked up. Well, don't watch Twitch. Twitch sucks. I only stream there because I don't know why anybody even goes to Twitch, to be 100% honest with you. But what's happening with it? Like, give me detail. Jacked up don't tell me shit. I don't know what that means. Tell me what's happening. But I doubt I can do anything to fix it. Two of their big players are out in Claxton and Cam, last I read. Cam Thomas or Cam Johnson? There's two Cams, Tony. Two Cams. Yo, what's good, Haize? Like always, how are you today? Hope you had a good day. I'm feeling good, bro. I'm mostly okay. We out here trying to kill it. Hopefully the Bulls come in and get a dub, man. Let's have some good defense tonight. Last game against the Mavs was good, except in the fourth quarter when it went down. Yes, absolutely. How we feeling? Shut up, Sean. I'm feeling good, bro. Glad to have you in the building. You already know who left that weak ass review. Smoke that man pack 10 times over. Hey, listen, some people got to get cooked, man. That's all it is. Some people got to get cooked. Kiddes says, watch you before every game, bro. Keep up the good work. Well, I appreciate that, fam. Make sure you're here for the post-game show as well. Dude gave you a bad review because you roasted him. I took mine like a man. I mean, so did Dwight. But no, listen, I agree with you. I appreciate you. Like, and that's the thing. Like, honestly, unless somebody comes at me left, more times than not, if I roast, it's just all in fun, right? I don't actually mean that I'm gonna go and smoke your mama, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes I will, right? Sometimes somebody gotta get it. You never know. You never know. Melvin in the building says 2 games ago against the Brooklyn Nets, Petty Roosevelt came out of you. I still laugh real hard watching that video. Hope it doesn't have to come out today. Did it? I don't even remember that, bro. I don't even remember that. Would you rather have Ben Simmons on Bulls get 10 assists or in a W, or Levine get 50 points in an L? I don't want Ben Simmons on the Bulls. So anything with Ben Simmons on the Bulls is an L. That's it. I look at this tournament as practice to get to the playoffs. This will see who's the problem on this team and who. No, it won't, because it's too early in the season to tell that. And the tournament is over with by December. So it's way too early for it to be anything in regards to the playoffs. That's my opinion. You want to look at their play overall, but hey. CF Football Candy says, is there any point of watching the Bulls knowing the ownership group saying they're not interested? They never said that. So that's again, CF Football Candy, you gotta stop with the narrative, bro. Go watch basketball, bro. Just go watch and enjoy basketball. That's it. What do you hope to see from the big 3 tonight? Execution, leadership. I would love to see them all get over 20 points per game again if it's going to be in a win, though, right? Whatever it takes, I want the big 3 to do what it takes to win, whether that means score a lot, whether that means facilitate, whether that means pass, whatever that means. I want all of them individually to do their own thing. Vooch is the one that I definitely want to see have a big night. I think when you look at the front court of the Brooklyn Nets, it's no slouch, right? Let's be clear there. It's no slouch, but it is a front court that you can expect Vooch to use his strength and his power to his advantage, right? So let's hope that we see that in the game. When you look at Nick Claxton, who I think is out in this game, then the next one they got starting is what? Deron Sharp. Vooch needs to cook tonight. Period. Oh, and I hit you up on Twitter about the shirt. Shit. My fault. I got to get back to you on that one, bro. Let's see. See how Football Candy says, Haize, I know I advocated for protests, but that's the only way I see us meaningfully moving towards actually winning the chip. I know that may make gargantuan money from merch sales, so basketball. Listen, why do y'all be leaving these damn two? Operations are probably secondary to the Reinsdorfs, but honestly, see that as the only way to try and hurt the Reinsdorfs, Bull stock and rep. Listen, you're not hurting the Bull stock or reputation. The reputation in Chicago for the Reinsdorfs can't be touched, because you know what? Outside of the Chicago Bulls, Jerry Reinsdorf has done so much for the infrastructure of the Chicago Bulls. You know how many buildings that Jerry Reinsdorf, or like we look at Jerry Reinsdorf and we just think, because we're sports fans, White Sox and Bulls. Jerry Reinsdorf owns like a third of Chicago. So you're not going to hurt their reputation because the Bulls suck, right? So the thing with the Bulls is we focus so much on ownership, and I understand it, but it really comes down to the front office making the right decisions, right? Because with the way that the front office, the ownership works, the only way that we're going to get to the championship isn't about ownership. It's about the front office drafting well. It's about the coaching staff developing. It's about some getting lucky. It's about making the right moves, not giving out bad contracts. That's way more important than ownership. I know people go to ownership, and I understand it to a degree, but when it comes down to it, when we did have a team that was perennially getting into the playoffs, you know what? We had that same ownership group, the exact same ownership group. You know the difference? John Paxson, when he was the GM, not when Gar came in, John Paxson drafted well for 6 to 7 years in a row. John Paxson drafted well. And you know what? Then when we finally did get that number 1 pick, we already had an infrastructure in place that we were a solid team. Yeah, we had to go out and get Ronnie Brewer. We had to go out and get Carlos Boozer to help add some sprinkles over the top of that. But what's more important than ownership is drafting well. Because you know what? If you draft well, then that means that the the inability to go to the luxury tax doesn't hurt you as much. And CF Football Candy, you overrate what ownership does and doesn't do. They only don't spend the luxury tax. We have been over the salary cap every year of our existence. You know why? Because it's not that Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't want to spend money. It's that he doesn't want to spend the penalty of going into the luxury tax for a team that's losing. So you know what's more important? It's build a winning team first. You don't have to go into the luxury tax to build a winning team. Anybody who keeps on that ownership, you have to have the foundation in place before you worry about going into the luxury tax. We have drafted terribly, or at least so far, we haven't seen the players develop that we've drafted well. So we had to go out and spend money on DeMar. We had to go out and spend money to bring Lonzo. We had to go out and spend money on Alex Caruso. We had to go out and spend draft picks and young capital to bring in Vooch because they didn't draft well for years. You have to draft well first and develop. And then at that point, not going into the luxury tax. For example, the Golden State Warriors won 3 titles before they went into the luxury tax. You know why? Because they drafted well. And they were in a position to add KD to that team, or 2 titles. They were in a position to add KD to that team because they drafted so well that the rookie scale deals didn't send them into the luxury tax yet. That's what you need to do if you're going to be a smart franchise. It's way more than ownership. I just gave a salary cap. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. I appreciate you guys. But let's see what else we got. We got Spicy Butter says, little bro, red floor. Let's go see red. Hey, we all gonna be seeing red today. It's gonna be hard not to see red. That's the truth. Rondo 2 Raw says Cam Thomas is the perfect pop player, bro. Clock in, get buckets, go home. No nonsense and foolishness. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need proactive P. I mean, that's what my lady calls me. Blessed. But let's go ahead and keep it pushing on that. Oh, man. Let's see what else we got. The city jerseys is pretty. I hate the city. Here's what I'll say. The city edition, the uniform as a whole looks better than when we just saw the jersey. The whole uniform, because the shorts are fire, right? So I don't really like it, but I think it's going to look good popping off that red court for sure. So Haize, I see everyone saying we're delaying the inevitable of a rebuild. What are your thoughts? I get what they're getting at with that, but not true. Not true. Jerry Ryan, no, see, and again, you're misquoting. He said that he didn't say that he doesn't want to pay into championships. He said, you know what the best place is that you have the hope of getting there, is to be second, right? That's not, he didn't just say, hey, I don't want to win championships. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. So if you're going to quote it, please go and look at it and quote the whole thing. The quote wasn't, I don't care about winning championships. That was not the quote. That was not the quote. I can guarantee that. That was not the quote. Pat, the designer, quotes that all the single time. So we ain't never getting a passionate piece. Send him to China already. Yeah, let's get out of here with that. Go through and explain the tourney, my G. I'm not doing that. It's straightforward. They have tournament games. There's groups. Every Tuesday and Friday in the month of November will be group play. And then the people that play the best, they go to the second stage. And it's a tournament. I don't know what a tournament is. I shouldn't have to explain a tournament. It's a tournament. Let's see. The jersey's so bland, man. They don't put no thoughts into the style. Well, no, it actually was a lot of thought that went into it. If you go and watch the video of the person who designed the jersey, like there's references to the first ever Chicago Bulls stadium, the Chicago Stadium. There's like certain colors and line patterns that represent the city of Chicago. There's actually a lot of thought that goes into the jersey. I feel like the execution of it we had our first like 4 city edition jerseys are goated. The last couple have been in. And like I said, I like the uniform as a whole. Just the jerseys, though, I'm good on that. Let's talk Bulls. Who would love this red court once a week going forward? Listen, I wouldn't mind if the Bulls next season changed their default court to being red. The point of winning championships is meaningless. Jerry Reinsdorf leads them. Go to the whole quote. But that's not saying that he doesn't want to win championships. That's a very different context. Is everything, CF Football Candy. Everything. And by that, what he was talking about was the financial aspect of just spending to win a championship. And that's things that we're seeing teams move away from. My whole rant still on how you build a team is still important. The most important thing in building a team isn't ownership. It's the GM, because you know what? Jerry Reinsdorf isn't drafting players. Jerry Reinsdorf isn't coming up with contract negotiations. The only mandate Jerry Reinsdorf has for the Chicago Bulls, keep in mind, he's way more on hand with the White Sox. But for the Chicago Bulls, the only mandate is do not go into the luxury tax. That's it. You can still build a championship team without going into the luxury tax. The 50,000 prize reward may be good for a two-way contract, guys, but I don't know how it will benefit starters to not treat it as a regular season. Well, listen, at the end of the day, you should want to compete either way. Like, I don't just labeling a regular season game and in-season tournament game isn't, for example, you see the Brooklyn Nets are sitting two starters, right? So it's not going to change a lot there, but you should want to see, and when you also add in the fact of now, the resting stars rule, right? So Nets fan says, hi, I love the Twitch and YouTube, all sports feeds, including your 10 a.m. and 7 a.m. Well, I don't know what you're talking about on that one. The GM, oh, no, they don't. See, there you go again. Yes, they pick the GM, but it's still the GM's job to run the team. How old are you, see? And I really don't mean that to age. Like, I don't think you really understand and grasp how Jerry runs this team. That's why me and Pat got on you about this specific team. It's the GM reports to the ownership, yes, but you know what? Again, the only mandate is to not go into the luxury tax. If you don't understand how a team can still build a playoff team, can still build a team that can, if you draft smartly and intelligently, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I really don't know what to tell you. Let you borrow $5? I got you, bro. Like, meet me at the UC. I got you. Haize, you're going to go all out on Dwight Howard jokes. If so, I need to get some popcorn. No, we're not. We chilling on the Dwight, because I'm not a one-trick pony. We're gonna chill on the Dwight Howard jokes for a little bit. Special shout out to you, my guy. We take care of my mother-in-law. Now she watches you in the Bulls game. She has dementia, and this is her highlight listening to you. Whoa, wow, that means the world. Like, I can't stress enough how much that means. Tell your mother-in-law I said hello. As a matter of fact, what's her name so I can give her a shout out? So since she watches, so I can give her a shout out, man. Reinsdorf admitted to the Last Dance that he wanted the GM president to do everything, so he would exactly right, and that's what it is. Jerry Reinsdorf has one. The White Sox are a different beast. He's there day in and day out with the White Sox. Michael Reinsdorf at this point is more day in day with the Chicago Bulls. So when it comes down to it, it's just like, for example, this. I said this. Imagine had the Bulls done a couple of different moves, right? We'd be in a completely different spot. So it is what it is, man. Let's see. Sorry, had to send a text about my kids. Gotta listen. Kids come first, even during live stream. So, what I'm saying is that when it comes to story hierarchy, both of these go hand in hand. Although GM makes the basketball decision, the ownership fires the GM. Okay, yeah, okay. So you water is indeed wet. I don't know what the point you're making. It still has nothing to do with building. That's like somebody asking you, hey, what's 1 + 1? And you said, well, but 5 + 5 is 10. Cool, but you didn't answer the fucking question, right? Yes, they report your ownership. Duh, right? But that's still the point. Now you're moving the goalpost. You originally started this off by talking about building and winning championships, right? Building a team. The ownership has less to do with that day to day. Wait, what is more important is the GM making smart decisions. I don't understand what you're not getting about. You are so focused on ownership, you can't see the forest through the trees, bro. Like, real talk. Like your lady must really be unhappy, bro. Because if you are so focused on one aspect that you've just zeroed in on, that you missing everything else, that is like eating pussy but not licking the clit. Like, you missing the point, my brother. The clit is looking at you like, hey, man, hey, can I get some attention in this bitch? And you like, but the hole, though. But the hole. What we doing? What we doing? Quentin Sanders says, my grandma has dementia, dementia too, respect, bro. Oh man, yeah, that's my grandfather had Alzheimer's for years and years and years. And you know, he stayed alive for a long time. But yeah, I remember the last time that he recognized me. I was in Dayton for like a Thanksgiving, and literally before I went back home, he was like, hey, you make sure you be good. And it was just because it was like the time I had seen him the day before, he literally he didn't know who I was. He always thought I was like one of my cousins. And so it was just a special moment. But yeah, it's a motherfucker. It's definitely a motherfucker. My dad's in the building. I always love when my dad comes through, says dementia. So, whoa, I just made a clitoris joke and my dad's in the chat. That's crazy. Sorry, Pop. I love you. Oh, man. Us not drafting Tyrese Halliburton and drafting P.O. has nothing to do with Ryan's or facts. Us drafting Dalen Terry instead of Walker Kessler has nothing to do with ownership, right? So, Haize, I'm done eating the snatch, but now hey man, anyone see Bulls post that says Zach LaVine as point guard? Do you think Billy would have experiment with that line? Listen, Zach LaVine is a terrible point guard. We talk about Zach LaVine's decision making when it comes to him just trying to get to the lane in the fourth quarter. You want Zach LaVine to be running your offense? I love Zach. He has so many great skills, but there's a reason why he was drafted as a point guard and moved over to shooting guard, because he can't run the offense. He can't. Humble servant says, shout Pops, raised a great son. Hopefully my dad I'm sure my dad watches this sometimes and be like, son, what the hell, man? What the hell? But hey, it is what it is there. Haize, your roast be wild, accurate, and out of pocket. I'm not even roasting. That's the thing. Honestly, I'm not even roasting right now. I didn't even mean that as a roast. Zach can't go a game without dribbling off his foot. Yeah, I mean, it's the Zach. I call it the Zach LaVine special. It happens at least once every game. It's the Zach LaVine special. He'll dribble it off his foot, and he won't even be being guarded twice. Tough. It's just like, come on, bro. Come on, man. What we doing here, brother? What are we doing? Tay, I just checked. Usually it's at 30 minutes before game time. So we're like 1 minute away. They faithfully release it 1 minute before game. 30, got me saying 1 minute, 30 minutes before game time. So we'll see. We'll see. Hey, by the way, does anybody know, is the in-season tournament courts, is it going to be released in 2K? Because they don't really have the in-season tournament in 2K, right, in the French. I don't know. But if they have that court in 2K, I'm playing on that court every single time that I play. They got to have those courts in 2K, right? I haven't played 2K probably in about 3 weeks, which is crazy. I've been so busy. The same is for my son who turned 35 today. Coaching high school football quarterfinal in Iowa. Shout out to your son, humble servant. First of all, the fact that me and your son are basically the same age is crazy. But yeah, I guess my pops is in the building. So hey, it is what it is, man. Always love having my dad come through. Like I tell this story all the time. This show would not be a thing if it wasn't for my dad motivating me to do it. Real talk. This show would not be a thing if it wasn't for my dad. The Pacers court. A lot of the in-season tournament courts look like trash. A lot of them look like dookie. Football candy. Next time, listen to the first response and is bashing and then let it go. Take the L. That's funny. I didn't even bash him. Like, really, I didn't even say anything personal about CF football because I get what CF football candy is rooted in, right? We may not agree, but I understand where CF football candy is coming from. He's upset with ownership, and he has every right to be upset with ownership, right? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So let's get this win for the city. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where is my dad now? Stop commenting after I said the click joke. I feel bad. Pops, comment, man. I need you, Pop. Props to the real fathers out there. Listen, I have the most amazing father in the world. Period. That just is what it is. Is he a perfect man? No, none of us are except Jesus. But my dad is the perfect father. This is funny. They call me coach because I taught him that you like you at an early age. And now he's a real coach. Real talk. That's crazy, man. That's funny. Dad said, I'm still right. Listen, I love my pops, man. Love my pops. I think everybody goes to that thing where they start understanding lessons their dad tried to teach them later in life. And I will honestly say around 32 years old for me is when a lot of times, a lot of the things my dad tried to teach me started clicking. And I was like, ain't that some shit? The stuff that I used to be like, hey, man, my dad's hard to sell on me. It started clicking. I was like, hey, that's why he did that. That's crazy. That's wild. So listen, respect your fathers, especially if you have one around. They're human too, so that means they're not perfect, but they're amazing. Amazing to have a real father around. I wouldn't be half the man I am if it wasn't for my pops. They still haven't released the starting lineup, which is weird. Haize, you ever thought about being the Bulls announcer? No, listen, no, I'm good on that one. I'm good on that. I'm good right where I am. I'm upset with this week a GM who had 3 picks that will never be impact players in this league. I wouldn't say, listen, I wouldn't say that. You can't write the story on that yet because I think we're seeing Io really develop a lot now as he's coming off the bench and he can make an impact off the bench, right? Julian Phillips, we don't know yet. The story's not out on Julian Phillips. I guess maybe Marco you're talking about as well. Yeah, Marco was a miss, but it was the second round. You're going to miss in the second round. So but when it comes to Patrick Williams, Dalen Terry, the story isn't written on them yet, especially Dalen. Patrick, I can understand guys kind of giving up on him a little bit more, even though I think it's too early for that too. But listen, it's still a lot of time left for those guys. What's up, Haize? Hey, if you were the Bulls GM, would you sign a vet like Ersan Ilyasova to give you some size that can shoot and come off the bench? Listen, I'm good on Ersan because I think Ersan's time has passed him up, and that's fine. That's not really a huge slight to him. His time's passed him up. That's what I think as well. Haize as an announcer equals chair thrown into the. Oh, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I am way too passionate to sit there at courtside and do. Oh, by the way, let me ask you guys something because I'm trying out a new thumbnail style for pregame shows. What do you guys think about the thumbnail for this video? And give me an honest critique. If you hate it, please don't hold back. I'm not going to flame you if you hate it. Please tell me because I'm just trying out some different things to kind of differentiate the pregame thumbnails and from the regular uh, uh, daily episode thumbnails, and then I'm also working on the Windy City Bulls episode thumbnail. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you think because you guys, you're my ears on the street. What do you think about the thumbnails? The thumbnail for this one specifically. What do you think about it? Let me know. Yeah, buddy, we about to get our ass busted. Hey, listen, last time people said that we got the dub. So appreciate your show, man. Love it pre and post game over here in Australia. You speak the truth. Well, Peter, thank you so much, bro. Thank you. What's good, my boy? If Bulls look bad tonight, how you feel? I mean, I can't got to see the game first. I mean, listen, them looking bad, unfortunately, at the point I am now, wouldn't necessarily surprise me. I'm surprised Boogie didn't last longer in the league. I wish he didn't fall off so early. Well, keep in mind, it was because of the Achilles. A ruptured Achilles is especially as a big man. The fact that KD's been able to come back from a ruptured Achilles as well as he has is a testament. That's not common. So the injury that he had, I'm honestly surprised he was able to come back at all from basketball. So I think the angle of the background split could use some work. Oh, I forget that you're actually a graphic designer. So I actually take that. Well, you mean like the balance of it? You know how to get in contact with me personally. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So just let me know. It's always a different thumbnail for each game. Each game is a different thumbnail. I never use the same thumbnail. It's just a different style, right? So I can see Batum taking DeMar's spot and Phillips taking P. Will. I believe they can run transition better and open up for shooting. We just need a true point we should draft. All right, y'all, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Give me just 1 second, y'all. Oh, my bad, y'all. My bad. Family comes first. Family comes first. All right, let's see what it is. Oh, my bad. I don't even remember where I was, man. I appreciate y'all for staying it through. Let's see. We got Ed says, FYI, we got 205 plus accounts and only 45 likes. Come on now. Listen, man, people be slow to them likes, but we appreciate the Apple Podcast reviews as well. Hey, do you think the Bulls are too guard heavy? And would you take injured Vanderbilt over healthy people? That's crazy. Listen, Jared Vanderbilt has turned himself into a hell of a player. Definitely turned himself into a hell of a player. Clearly, many of you don't pay attention to Haize channel because he posts videos talking about stuff, yet you ask him on here what his opinion is. Well, listen, I will say this. A lot of people do honestly show up only for the live streams. That's just is what it is. And there's no problem with that. A lot of people really do only show up for the live streams. It helped that KD was so skinny, light with his weight, opposite of Cousins. Great point, Dad. Definitely great point on that one. Maybe a black outline on the BK player would have made it pop. More contrast with people. Fair. That's fair. I probably should have did that. Looking back at it now, accurate. JK says, yo, chill, man. I'm guilty of sometimes people can't watch every single. Yeah, listen, the thing is, I don't hold any like, I don't expect everybody to watch every single episode. I post at least 7. Like, I have my weekly report because YouTube sends out like this weekly report to let you know your numbers, right? And so in 7 days, I had posted like 16 videos. So it's really hard to expect people to really stay up on top of. It would be nice, right, to if people could watch every single video. But listen, everybody can't watch every single video. Sometimes I drop videos in the middle of the night. When Bulls news drops, I drop. So it just kind of comes with the territory, right? So it is what it is there. Your pet goldfish ran away? It ran? Hey, listen, you got the key to evolution over there. I like the thumbnail for this channel. Don't like Locked on Bulls, one with Pat looking like a goof. Oh man, hey, listen, leave Pat alone, bro. Pat is goofy though. Like, and I don't mean that as a slight. Pat is a goofy dude. For anybody who's ever met Pat in person, you know that Pat is a silly dude. And I mean that with nothing but endearment in my voice when I say that. Pat is genuinely him, and that's why I rock with Pat so much, because Pat is him. That is what it is. He's himself, man, and he's great at it. So, listen, Pat has made it far in this game. That's my brother. You may even start seeing us do some Bears stuff together on a platform that has 4 letters in its name. I'm going to leave it at that. Shout out to you, Haize, and all the hard work giving us content. Do you think they'll move Caruso and DeMar this season? Caruso keeping their stock high. Listen, I think that they hold Caruso's value so high. I like, if they do move Caruso, it means they're getting a hell of a package back. No Dwight. Starters. Torrey Craig is officially starting tonight, so there is a change to the starting lineup. It just got released 14 seconds ago. Your starters are Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Torrey Craig, and Nikola Vucevic as your starters tonight. So Billy Donovan finally goes ahead and pulls the trigger. Patrick Williams will be coming off the bench. We'll see what that means for him if he plays better coming off the bench, maybe finds his way a little bit more, but it's official. Patrick Williams is now relegated to the bench. Torrey Craig has taken the starting position from Patrick Williams. There you go. I'm trying to find out when he's doing another watch party. I don't know. He's traveling right now to the Dominican, so I don't know. I told him like that we may try to do a watch party if it's a weekend, so that way I can be there. So be on the lookout for that. I'm doing Pat Locked On intro dance in celebration of that starting lineup move. Whatever he does on there, Pat's goofy, bro. Like, that's my brother, though. That is my brother, is Pat the designer. So let's go. Pat need to come off the bench and find himself. But listen, I don't know if he's gonna find himself coming off the bench. Listen, it doesn't matter. Starting, coming off the bench, jumping off the moon, whatever. It has to be between his ears first. And so let's hope that wherever because listen, Pat has skill, but he just hasn't unlocked what he needs to do yet. So Pop, my dad says whoever said Pacers court looks like shit. 100. Damn. Yeah, the Pacers court is absolutely trash. Let's see if I can find a picture of it real quick. Because that court is an interesting one, man. Here it goes. I found it. I'm gonna put it up so everybody can kind of see it real quick. That court it's hideous though. It's literally hideous. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this court. They whoever designed it got some free money. That is ugly. That's ugly. That is a ugly, ugly, ugly court. Even that logo, the Indy logo on there, that's ugly. It's just ugly. Now look at this. I don't care what nobody say. I love that, man. I love that. I love it, man. I can't wait to see it live and in action personally. But that one's ugly. That Indiana court is ugly as hell, man. First time I met Pat, we baked each other for a half an hour. My boy for sure. Listen, that was funny. Like literally, meaning like within 5 seconds of meeting each other, they started roasting each other. It's crazy. It's crazy. Pat has been aggressive, but this is a great move for him to relax and take over. And if not, he has no one to blame. He has the talent. He's been aggressive in spurts. It hasn't been consistent aggression for him, though. I will say the last 2 games, even though he couldn't shoot the ball worth crap, he came out aggressive. So we'll see. I want to see P. Will be successful, but I knew that Torrey Craig was going to take that starting position. Craig can make an impact playing defense, rebounding, and do other things to help the team win. Yeah, without even needing to score, right? And so I won't be surprised with, Patrick Williams is shooting like 12% and like 22% from the field. So I wouldn't be surprised if Torrey Craig scores more than him too. But like, that's not even the thing that we're going to notice about Torrey Craig. The thing you're going to notice about Torrey Craig, fighting for rebounds, going after the loose balls, getting still. Oof. That was a pause. Going after the loose ball, playing solid defense, right? Weak side defense, help defense, right? Those are things you're going to notice about Torrey Craig playing right away. He's going to make that impact right away for the Chicago Bulls in that starting lineup. Pat need to go watch some Kobe highlights and documentary live. Listen, that ain't going to help him. Would you trade Pat to the Wizards for Taj isn't even on the Wizards anymore? No, you're not going to trade a 22, 23-year-old player for 8. You're not going to do that. It's just, you're not going to do that. So, and at this point, you're not going to get much for him. I watched the game twice, and against Dallas, his defense was elite, and it was Caruso who got lit up late. Yeah, listen, and that's like, absolutely. I said that on the postgame show. Patrick Williams' defense on Luka is a large part. I'll give it 85% of the reason why Luka had a bad game. So Kobe White's going to be next. No, I think that if you watch my daily episode today, the quote that we got from Billy Donovan, I don't think they're going to be pulling Kobe White from the starting lineup anytime soon. I think Billy is committed to let Kobe go through the ups and downs to learn his role. I really think he does, because they are really big on how verbal he's been, how much respect he has from the big 3, the core 3. So I don't think they're going to be moving Kobe White out the starting lineup anytime soon. I think Kobe's going to get about a good 20 to 25 games before they look at moving that. So Torrey Craig starting, not surprised. Though Torrey is effective, Paul is 22 years old and Torrey is 30 years old. On paper, Paul has to thrive, but damn, listen, but that's what I said coming into the season, that we needed Patrick Williams to play so good that it isn't even a question on if he should start over Torrey Craig. He hasn't. So, I'm not mad at Billy Donovan for taking a look at a veteran that understands how to go about and get his. And we'll see what impact that has on the team overall. But I would have loved to be able to say that Patrick Williams is playing so good that it isn't even a thought to move him out the starting lineup. But the fact of the matter is, he hasn't. And so Billy Donovan, especially when the team isn't winning games on top, it'd be different if the Bulls were like, instead of being 2-3, if the Bulls were like 4-1 and Patrick Williams was, not really scoring well, but the defense was so good that it's like, hey, we don't want to make this change because the Bulls are winning games. That's not what we can say, right? The Bulls are 2-3 on the season. Not terrible, 2-3. And you want to try to start winning more games. So it is what it is there. Speaking of the Wizards, how do you think we match up against them this year? Haven't heard you mention them yet. Listen, the Wizards are who the Wizards are. They're a team that can get absolutely hot, but they're 1-3 on the season for a reason, right? They have a lot. The thing that I look at is the Wizards, they're going to have a lot of players that put up spectacular games this season. You're going to get a 50-point game from Jordan Poole at some point in time. You're going to get probably a 35, 40-point game from Kyle Kuzma at one point in time. But you know what? They're not going to win a lot of games. So, but somebody could say the same thing about us. We're not going to win a lot of games, and we haven't shown that we're going to be yet. So we'll see. We do have a starting power forward. His name is Torrey Craig. Shout out to Torrey Craig. I don't know what you're talking about. We have one. His name is Torrey Craig. What kind of question is that, Tony? I almost put that up on the screen. Why are you out here tripping, Tony? Why are you out here tripping? Who plays tonight? Where do y'all see that Io's out? I don't even see that on the injury report. Let me go into the. Oh no, he is out. There you go. Illness. He's been ruled out. Who gets Io's minutes? That's a great question. I mean, P. Will. Now that P. Will's on the bench, P. Will. I would love to see P. Will play 25, 30 minutes off the bench because he's bringing defense and some other stuff. But other than that, honestly, do not be surprised if it ends up being Terry Taylor. Don't be surprised if it ends up being Taylor Terry. I would love to be able to say that it's going to be like Julian Phillips. I don't know if I feel confident in that yet, though. Who said we playing Wemby? That's crazy. Reginald Short, we're 5 games into the season. You think I know who's going to be on the buyout market yet, bro? I'm smart. I ain't a damn psychic, bro. Like, what we doing? No, I have no idea yet. I haven't even started looking at buyout candidates yet. So, but we'll see. Gabriel says, what do you want to see different from last game? Effective shooting. I'm not even talking about from 3-point range. Shoot the ball well, right? Execute. Australians are free. Says, gotta admit at this point, I look forward to Haize's content more than watching this team play. This team pisses me off. No fight. Keep up the good work, mate. I appreciate that, brother. Our sister. I don't mean to misgender anybody. I think Pat Bench is going to light a fire. At least I hope he does. I mean, I wish I could say that, but this is the third time he's been benched in a season and a third, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's Talk Bull says, I like that Javon Carter's starting to make his shots. He's starting to find his spot, starting to find his rhythm. Absolutely. And we'll see how that works up, though. But all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. We're about 6 minutes away from game time. You guys already know I'll be back here at halftime for the halftime hangout. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button on your way out as well. We're about 23-ish subscribers away from 15,300. So, hey, if we can get there today, great. If not, I understand it. But I know about 20 of y'all probably aren't subscribed. If you're not subscribed, go and hit that subscribe button. Also, go and leave a review and or rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you have an Apple device. Either one, whatever you do, you either got Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, whatever, or you got Spotify. I know you guys do. Go and leave a review. It helps the podcast grow, even if you only watch the YouTube side. But otherwise, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys at halftime. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See Red. All that good shit. I'll see you guys in a few. Peace, y'all.